Welcome everyone, how's it going? Scrembo here on another great video presentation for April price prediction for SUI cryptocurrency right here. Speaking about it now, it is above $2. We broke the all-time high a couple of days ago and we're still holding very nicely. Something that has been very interesting is some of the cryptocurrencies can now do 5 to 10% movements. Meanwhile, the other altcoins are breaking the all-time highs and continuing their push. Right, so it's very interesting in the current bull market as we're speaking about. We have a really segmented movements of the market where the liquidity is moving quite wild in cryptocurrencies that are not holding the spotlight for years. They're not participating in the markets for years. It's most likely the new ones, just like always. Something that is new is usually attracting. And the concept here applies as well when it comes down to the cryptocurrencies. Something that didn't have an all-time high in the past bull cycle is actually grabbing the all-time high quite quickly during this one, especially with the way we're moving. And it's pretty normal, guys. It's pretty normal to achieve that. It's pretty normal if these cryptocurrencies got into the markets when we were in the bear market or prior to the bull market. It's easy to break the all-time high of them. It's easy. They were not in any form of a cycle prior to that. They were not in an extension prior to that. Compared to, let's say, Avalanche, Polygon, and many other altcoins, Chainlink, you definitely get the idea, folks. It's something totally different. Now, we're gonna dive into the price prediction technicals for April. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're doing this very rationally, down to the earth, as we are needing it. So before we get into, like the video, subscribe. And for those of you that are inspired by trades, we have our BTC Lab trade still holding it, still doing quite well, riding this one nicely. If you'd like to be part of my trades, that you definitely can, participate without any prior fees, just a commission from the pure profits made. Simple, totally outsourced for you, no upfront fees, just a commission from the profits made. And it's done through API trading permission, so it's a copy trading forum. At the same time, we have basically the one-on-one coaching program for anyone that is serious about a crypto space and would like to dive into seriously in terms of how to trade. Then it's time to learn this basically. From A to Z, comprehensively on private one-on-one with me, where I'll take you by hand and teach you how to trade. Of course, if you want to go for financial freedom. Now, what's happening on the SUI? Well, it is a situation here which I'm not going to blame, folks. I'm not going to undermine the force of it. But at the same time, I've been telling you in my last video, as soon as your previous high, your previous all-time high holds so well, and you get the golden pocket confirmation as well, you're very likely to continue aggressively towards the upside. That's true. But the way we're pumping after establishing a double top right there is, extremely surprising from one side and very unsurprising from the other side. Let me tell you why. Because you get a 20 days moving average support right there. Quickly you get that. So that's a clear sign basically of market continuation appearing on 1.63 on the daily candles, which is most likely a longer term type of analysis and trading, which is why I speak about April for this one. And that is the case while we broke out, we got into the extension 1.618, and now it's of course dangerous, but the level of 2 extension is right there, which is awaiting us. That's where we could actually see SUI if BTC and Ethereum holds the lines and it's not getting out of the woods, then of course we would have the ability to push basically for the highs of number 2 extension and deliver some great numbers around $2.4 even from here. What matters? It matters right now if you get back into the zigzag Fibonacci's that are the 1.272 and 1.414. That's $1.7, $1.85, right? So if you get back into that, you got to construct your liquidity, deviate for a bit of a time, generate a fake out, and after the fake out, the markets will be ready to get pushed into the $2.5. This is a scenario. The other scenario is simply the markets are going to print another 2 days of massive bullishness along with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then during those times, you're going to see basically SUI as well, delivering you $2.4 number 2 extension, which is a place of big danger. It is a place I would definitely like to see a retracement back into the number 2 or slightly below, faking out some liquidity, right, and triggering some sell-off. That's the place basically. I mean, the exchanges and the markets gotta make you believe it is going down, so you get your bags sold, you get your longs exited, you get your stop loss touch, you get your liquidation touch, right? So the markets, before they move, they gotta make you believe it goes the other side. This is the psychological way the space of trading is actually functioning. So they gotta make you believe, which means they gotta build a structure and then do the final movement that is actually confirming that structure in the so-called wrong side, which then is completely turned around and pumped the other side, right? So this is what the space of crypto is actually doing big time. This is how the charts are moving big time as well. If you look into the SUI, when it was down to the $1.1, and it wasn't really far away from today. It was 24 days. And we printed 73%, guys. So honestly, when you see that delivered just like that under that form, you need to understand that there is no point, technically, to take the market so low at that time, other than the necessity of what I said to you earlier to be delivered, to be generated, and to be triggered, basically. A lot of the people got out of their positions during that sell-off right there. A lot of the people. And they actually got out of the position before the market went 70%. This is how they were pretty much triggered, a psychological effect. This is how trading functions, which is why I'm telling everyone that with leverage, it is dangerous, and I would say it is very dangerous. Anything you work with leverage, you must understand that you need to have the ability, the financial ability behind that, to sort of a way consider a potential partial or complete loss of the resources when you deal with leverage. Speaking about the danger of trading, which is always there, that particular side you dedicate to that can partially or completely be lost. This is, unfortunately, the reality behind the trading for certain cases, which is why the risk management has to be done correctly, because the other resources that will be dedicated next should basically, on the long term, pay off and deliver great numbers, right? So this is something that is not unknown. This is something that is not gonna happen. This is something that should not happen. You might consider that I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, folks, it's not that the market's gotta deliver you losses every time, and you need to understand the fact that certain situations in the markets cannot be avoided. Certain situations in the market totally cannot be avoided, which is where you are getting the losses. Other than that, we're speaking about a knowledge that will deliver you in the long term the great numbers, which is why whatever you assume to the leverage, whatever you dedicate to that, it has to be very, very well organized from the risk management side. If it's a wrong risk management pattern, then it might cost you big time. So that's where we are with this one. Once again, hit the like button, subscribe, join us on board. Have a good time, folks. We'll talk to you soon. Just enjoy the one-on-one coaching where we speak about everything. We teach you everything in order to trade correctly and run for the profits on long term. Short term, things can be really, really fluctuating, but at the same time, as soon as you trade correctly on the long term, you're always going to beat the markets, and you can beat the markets with leverage, which will generate you a great outcome. That's it, folks. Have a good time. We'll talk to you soon.